Despite it's sunny, it's freezing outside. Although the Stainmore line closed in 1962, we can still find traces of buildings and equipment. Now we're on Lartington Road Bridge. Let's look around. And look what I found. Just as the books would tell us, you can still find signs of the railway. North East Railway. This white post marks the edge of the Stainmore railway line. This is Lartington Station, which has been converted into a private house, like many others along the railway line. This very important line quickly and cheaply transported the raw iron ore to the industrial heartland of Teesside. It also carried coke to be used in the steel furnaces of Cumberland. This line also helped landowners to transport the agricultural produce to markets and cities across the country, in turn making profitable larger farms than had been created following the Enclosure Acts of the 1700s. So, the Stainmore line played a very important part in helping making the Britain great. Go further towards Barnard Castle. From Lartington Station, we come across a branch line that used to go to Middleton and Teesdale. And here's some evidence. This is a railway sleeper, which was left behind from the railways. As you see, it's a bit overgrown. This branch line was actually still open for 3 years after the Stainmore line closed. Tees Valley Railway opened on the 13th of May 1868 with intermediate stations at Mickleton, Cotherston and Romaldkirk. Romaldkirk opened later in July of the same year. The line was primarily used to transport stone from first the Middleton quarries and later the Park End quarries. The line closed for passenger traffic on the 30th of November 1964, and the line also closed to freight on the 5th of April 1965. Although the Stainmore line closed, the Tees Viaduct still remained for the freight trains that were used on the Tees Valley Railway until 3 years later, when the line also closed. Much of the line now forms the Tees Valley Railway Walk. So, we're standing here at the junction of two railways, but I can't see a signal box to control the railways. I wonder where it is. I'm standing on top of it. Must have been down this way, we will see the Barney or Tees Viaduct. There were 15 viaducts on this line, and the last viaduct before Barnard Castle Railway Station after the Tees Viaduct was Percy Beck Viaduct, which is still there. From here we can see the other side of the viaduct. Let's go there too. And here is the other side of the bridge, which has been demolished many years ago. Here we are on a walking path, and we can see the site of the Tees Viaduct. Oh, show's still here. Look, half of it's gone. There's no way to get to Barnard Station. All that is left is the stone abutments. We'll have to find another way to get to Barnard Station, which is not the railway line. The Tees Railway Viaduct was a railway bridge in the county of Durham, England, which carried the South Durham and Lancashire Union Railway over the River Tees, west of Barnard Castle. Further research tells us that this viaduct was built in 1858 and was demolished in 1971. The bridge was 732 feet, 223 metres long and 132 feet, 40 metres high, and had 5 spans of 120 feet and 2 of 21 feet. This viaduct was built by the South Durham and Lancashire Union Railway to carry the Stainmore line from Barnard Castle to Tees and Penrith. It was built by the railway's engineer, Thomas Boach, and the stone piers for the bridge were built by D.P. Appleby of Barnard Castle. Thomas Boach also designed the ill-fated Tay Bridge, which famously collapsed in 1879, killing between 60 and 75 people, ending his career. During my research, I found that iron ore slag was brought from Cumberland to Teesside steel furnaces. So I looked around the viaduct to see if I could find any iron ore slag that had fallen from a passing train. Here is the iron ore slag that I found. I also found this. I wonder if this was used to keep the parts of the railway track together. Then, a little bit further, I found these. These are railway spikes. Now these were definitely used to keep the railway together. Even here, beside the railway line, you can see the goods they will carry on the train. Here you've got coal and coke. Coke is basically coal heated up in a big oven. As you can see, coke is lighter in colour than coal, and it also is lighter in weight. I also found some interesting facts. For example, there were Newcastle to Blackpool specials for holiday makers, and the Durham to Ulverston service was actually not advertised. It was also be normal to see about 19, 20 or more westbound freights. I think that there were 3 main reasons for the Industrial Revolution. 1. The Enclosure Act created a group of homeless poor people which could be used as cheap labour in new factories, coal mines or steelworks. 2. The invention of steam engines allowed factory owners a power source that was reliable and cheap, which enabled them to employ more cheap poor workers. And finally, number 3. The new railway lines that spread out like a spider's web from the industrial regions to the source of the raw materials and nearly to all towns and cities in the UK, where the customers who bought the new manufactured goods lived. It took all these three things to happen in the same period of time to make the Industrial Revolution. And I think that this is why the Industrial Revolution happened in the north of England and not in any other country. Bye! See you next time!